Hi, welcome to another Designs by Darilyn tutorial. Today I will be showing you all how to use the trace feature in Silhouette Studio. Let's begin. First, I'm going to open a file. I'm using one of my own files that is saved in a PNG format. Going to insert her into our work area, resize her a little bit. We'll shrink her down a little bit so that she can fit the page. And we're going to begin with the trace option. So if you look to the right hand side, that fifth icon is trace panel. We're going to open that, select trace area. With this option, all you have to do is click and drag the area you would like to trace. Once you see it highlighted in yellow, you can then hit the trace button. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the original file, delete that, and then do a quick copy paste of the trace images. For the image on the left, I'm going to right click, release compound path, so that later I can get to all of those bits and pieces and go ahead and change the image on the right to the line color black and fill black. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the release compound path image and remove the pieces that are not related to the skin. I like to group all of my colors together normally or by piece, but for this image, as you can see, she has face, neck, arms, leg, and feet area. So I'm going to keep all of that together, group it together, and change the color to a nice brown. I know this process seems a little tedious, but if only I had zoomed in, I probably would have been able to delete them faster. But I'm going to go ahead and take all of her body parts and make one compound path, change the color to a nice, beautiful brown, and go ahead and drag that and overlap it with the outlined image. I then start working on the other image and deleting those things I don't need. All the body parts, we just don't need them anymore. And if I can, I try to group like things together. So I move the purse over. I group that to keep the pieces together, but then I'll ungroup it later, but it's okay. Continue to delete some of the body parts, and then I can group the heels, the earrings, and the dress together. Get all of the pieces separate and grouped together. And then I go ahead and I make a complete path on the dress, change the color to red, but then realize that I want to change the color of the buttons, but I've gone this far. So I end up going back and forth and then realizing I'll just show you later. I change the color of the dress to a deep red and I go ahead and click and drag it into place. I then start working on the neckline. So I have to delete the outer dress, move the images closer so that I can zoom in. It's nearly impossible to see the difference between the inner and outer circle unless you zoom in. So I go ahead and I start deleting, but then I run into a problem because somehow there's a new feature where you can click and drag, and things that normally you don't want to group are grouped together. So the only way I found to fix that is to just back up a little bit, and then you're able to then start deleting. Okay, so now we're rolling. Go ahead and get the rest of these deleted, and then I'm going to make all circles a complete path. So next I'll work on the earrings, the heels, and then the purse. Once I start working on the purse, I realized that I've grouped them a little too quick. So the color change is applying to both pieces. So I go ahead and ungroup that, give each piece a different color, and then I'll group it back together. Now that I have all the pieces in place, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the dress. So I do a quick copy and paste, release the compound path on one, click and drag, and then change the fill color to clear. Zoom in, and I'll begin removing the inner circles on the neckline of this dress. Now that that is complete, I go ahead and click and drag the dress, right click, make compound path, and then change it back to the deep red. Once I complete that, just drag it over to the dress, move the buttons over. Make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. I then remove the outlined image, click and drag, and group all of my colored pieces together, and I'm done. Your image is now complete. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or would like for me to do another tutorial, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.